Okay, Danny.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, we're looking at a 2005 Allegro 2000, and it has 153 hours on the plane. It had a takeoff incident at 122 hours and sat for about 12, 13 years in a hangar. And when the factory was moved to North Carolina, which was my good luck, I purchased the plane and took it up there and had it repaired. They repaired the landing gear, the right landing gear with carbon fiber, and the nose gear, they redid it and beefed it up. It's stronger than it was originally from the factory, which is a good thing. It's a great flying aircraft. It flies at about 135, 139 miles per hour cruise speed. It ships about 4 gallons an hour. It's pretty well instrumentated. It's got the ICOM A200.
Okay.
Okay, you're looking at the dashboard now of the Allegro. It's fairly well instrumentated. This is what they call an entry level per se, other than the ICOM IC A200 radio, which is a very good system with the FlightCom in it as well, and that picks up real well and all that. It's got a brand new ELT that hasn't actually been installed. The brackets are in it. We just need to put it in there, and it's sitting on the counter there.
And you're going to install that before we sell it,
It'll
right?
be installed, and also it will come with a fresh annual as well.
Excellent.
It you can see the hours here, 153.4. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. What's cool about this plane, it has an indicator for the flaps, which are electric flaps, which is really cool for a light sport plane. Of course, all your altimeters and speedometers and such here, a little dill, and down here you have your flaps, your electric flap, fuse, fuel pump, positioning lights, strobes, reflectors, the radio IC, and horizontal indicator here. It comes with the GPS 196, which is black and white, works quite well, and a couple plug-ins for that. It has the push-to-talk unit here on your yoke, as well as one for the co-pilot for his headsets. So he has two separate ones. These are your valves. You actually have three fuel tanks. You have a 14-gallon tank under the seat and two 5-gallon tanks in the wings, so you can go a long, long ways.
That's good. That's unusual to have them in the wings.
Right. Well, it's a lot. My bladder won't go as long as the plane will, that's for sure. But it is a real asset, and it's got a great heating system in it. It cools quite well with the window vents in it, and it's relatively quiet considering the motor is sitting right above your feet.
And how is it for comfort?
It's very comfortable, yeah, because it is what it is. I'm a fairly good-sized fella, so to get in is, it takes a minute, and you got to kind of negotiate, because my legs don't move like they used to, but once you get in it, it's just like a rocking chair in here. It's very comfortable, and you have head clearance and such, too. So
You've got good head clearance in this aircraft.
even with your headsets on and stuff like that. It's got a fairly decent cargo area in the back. You could put a set of clubs back there and put around.
Well, that's important to a lot of guys.
Well, it is.
And gals.
Yeah, and the payload's 585 pounds. So, I mean, that's decent. If you load it up with gas and everything, it's going to be pushing it with a couple good-sized fellas in here, or a couple good-looking girls, either way.
Well, now, I've been told by several people that you can put two 250-pound guys in here and be just fine.
Oh, yeah, yeah. My
Just
CFI
lots of get up
was
and go.
280, and I weigh 210. So, yeah, that wasn't an issue in the least. But these things take off on a dime. It's incredible. You can take off in about, I'd say, 300 foot easily. I mean, the wingspan's huge on this plane. It's 40-some feet. And so with that and the 85 horsepower Rotex, it jerks off the ground like it's nobody's business. And it lands quickly, too. It's got a good takeoff. If you have a short area you need to get in and out of, it works very well for that.
There's a very good video on YouTube showing that.
Yeah.
Ross Kennedy had done. I think that the wingspan is 34 feet.
Oh, is it 34?
I believe so.
It seems like it's 40 when you try to take it in and out of your hangar. But yeah, it is big. It's considerably larger than most of the light sports. I guess that's why it gives it the good glide ratio and such.
Well, one of the things that people are concerned about is getting in and out. And I've mastered one way of doing it, and I've taught some people how to do it, and that is you get up, you get your bum right up on that outer edge.
Yeah.
And then you drop back into the seat, and retract your landing gear,
Yeah, there you go.
and you put your feet
That's
right
well
in.
said. Yeah, that would work. I mean,
Yeah, it
if
works.
my knee doesn't bend, that's the reason I have to go in with my right leg first and then kind of finagle myself in.
Well,
But
it's
that's
nice
just
to
me.
know that because
Yeah.
that you can get in and out of it.
Yeah.
You found a way to do that. A lot of people do lose mobility as we get older,
Well, that's true, and
and they still want to have fun.
Yeah, and there isn't much more fun. Well, there's a few things, but we can't talk about that right now. But this is a great plane to get out in, and you wouldn't be scared to take it anywhere. I mean, I'd go cross country in the plane in a heartbeat, only because it rides about the same cruise speed as my Commander 112. It's amazing. 136 miles per hour is amazing at sipping 4 gallons of gas. You just can't compare that to any type of GA plane, and most light sport planes as well.
It is one of the best light sport aircraft out there.
And it's stable. It's fun to drive. It isn't like you have to stab the rudders every time you get into a little turbulence. So you can contribute that to the size of the wings as well. And the visual is unbelievable. You can see absolutely everything in this aircraft because it's a high wing, and you know it's a pleasure to drive. And the nice thing about this plane too, it's SLSA, so you can pull banners with it. You can train with it. It's a huge advantage and a huge selling point as well.
Good
So,
point.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because you can't do that with any other plane. I guess the only downside of that is you have to have it inspected through. You can't be. I don't think you can be self-taught and get your certificate to do an SLSA because it's considered commercial. But I mean, the annual on these things are less than $300, so that's a no-brainer.
That is a no-brainer
Yeah.
because
I would rather have somebody else do it anyway, to be honest with you, because you know us pilots, sometimes we get a little lackadaisy. Not that I would do that, but you know, it does happen. So, you know, I don't have a problem paying a guy a few $100 and he'll tear into it, and he usually has it done in a day. Because everything's wide open. You can see everything in this aircraft. You can look back in the back fuselage by taking 3 screws out and stuff. So it's real easy to inspect and all. And like I say, on this plane, everything has been replaced through the factory that needed to be replaced, and is actually better. So I think that this plane is a better airplane than it came off the assembly line with.
all right.